wine will tell you the truth in the bottle. Just because my name's not on the label, I do see these wines as myself. Build up to harvest is always interesting because you're trying to triple check that everything's organized and ready and everyone's set and ready to go, and the winery is set up so it's going to be easy and flowing easy. And then harvest is interesting because those first 14 to 20 days of each young wine's life is where it's really hit, where you're going to make it or break it. We do about 17 different bottlings here, and that ranges from white Rhone blends to straight, Picpoul, Viognier, soon in a couple of years Assyrtiko, to Tempranillo, straight Syrahs, and then different names on that label too. So the Pinot right now, I've been bottling 5 different Pinots and from 3 different vineyards, but chopping them all up so they're unique and historically the same as what we've made in the past. There's always going to be these weird different aromatics, and it's going to be personal, and to me that's the interesting part. And then as the wine develops really early on, you can get a good grasp, and that to me is really kind of cool. If I want to do some stainless fermentation during harvest, I'll use these, settling of the juice before I move it either to barrel or one of the concrete tanks during harvest, and then blending and bottling. Blending is, there are so many different scenarios you can play with, and then where that fruit came from on the vineyard, how the season was, not how general weather, but just how that season went from the day you pruned all the way to picking, and how you ferment it. So it's a matter of balancing out, and then how the wines age, the formats they're in, the amount of new oak you use, and then structurally how it's going to be and how the flavor is going to come across, and whether people are going to enjoy it as well. Thousands of years ago, before oak, the fermentation and aging was done in these clay and concrete formats. The idea for me, how I think it works is it's uber neutral. You bring across just how that wine textbook is. Sometimes you can either have too many hands in the too many chefs in the kitchen, is that a saying? So I like to do it by myself. It's a soft approach and a gentle approach, especially for making wine. I'm not a big fan of punch downs, only at the very end. Mostly it's just pump overs for me. So these we brought in the end of last year. And that's the program that I want to start bringing in, is more larger formats and getting rid of like 80% of the barrels that we have on site. Being able to amalgamate and come together and mature together in one lot for a longer period of time, I think will allow the wine to be ready for when it is bottled and have less downtime, less shock. Also wood contact as well. You think about a greater volume of liquid, less surface area of oak, which is hard to think about when you look at a barrel, but there's some truth to it and there's some straight math. So you're not impacting too much wood into the wine either, keeping it more just about the fruit and the other characteristics of that blend or that straight wine. Everything from the previous couple of years are in there, bottling 14s right now, and then the 14 Rhones will be done in Christmas time, and then the 15s have quite a little bit longer to go, and then 16s are coming around the corner. So yeah, you've got this awesome overlap too, because you've got generations of family at one time in the winery. It's a weird dogma, or this fallacy of, you got to be on vintage, and some people that taste wine are like, oh, you're not pouring your 15s yet? It's like, well, no, because they're not ready. So you want to be able to allow that wine, and we're fortunate here we can bottle the wine when the wine's ready, not when we are ready. So you give you hit that peak, and because we have our own bottling line here, we can do that. We can bottle when the wine is really hitting its zenith. Why you do all this work in the vineyard, especially farming biodynamically, it's so high maintenance, and you try so hard during harvest, and you're thorough and you're clean, and you spend all day and night doing it. And so then why at the very end rush it? A little bit longer is all right.